ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैवं नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वत स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदयन्तास्थो य भद्राणि विधुनोति सुरहितसतम् नास्तु प्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 7, Text 26, 27, and 28. Daksha Uvacha Shuddham Swadhamyanyuparata Uputara Kila Buddhyastama Vastam Kinmatramekam Bhayam Pratishidhya Mayam Tishtham Sayaiva Purushattvamupetya Tasyam Us As अस्ते भवान परिशुद्ध इवात्म मंत्र तंत्र। ट्रांसलेशन बाय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। Daksha addressed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear Lord, you are transcendental to all speculative positions. You are completely spiritual, devoid of all fear, and you are always in control of the material energy. Even though you appear in the material energy, you are situated transcendently. You are always free from material contamination because you are completely self-sufficient. Text 27. Rutvija uchuhu Tvatvam na te vayam najjana rudrashapat karmanya vagraha dhiyo bhagavan vidamaha धर्मोपलक्षणमिदं त्रिवृद्धध्वराख्यं ज्ञातं यदर्थम् अधिदेवमदो व्यवस्थाः। Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The priests addressed the Lord, saying, O Lord, transcendental to material contamination, by the curse offered by Lord Shiva's man, we have become attached to fruitive activities. Thus, we are not fallen, and therefore do not know anything about you. On the contrary, we are now involved in the injunctions of the three departments of the Vedic knowledge, under the plea of executing rituals in the name of Yajna. We know that you have made arrangements for distributing the respective shares of the demigod. Purport. The Vedas are known as Traigunya Vishya Vedaha, Bhagavad Gita 2.45. Those who are serious students of the Vedas are very much attached to the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas, and therefore these Vedavadis cannot understand that the ultimate goal of the Vedas is to understand Lord Krishna or Vishnu. Those who have transcended the qualitative Vedic attractions, however, can understand Krishna, who is never contaminated by the material qualities. Therefore, Lord Vishnu is addressed here as an anagna, free from material contamination. In Bhagavad Gita 2.42, the crude Vedic scholars have been deprecated by Krishna as follows. Yam imamam pushpitam vacham प्रवदन्ति अविश्वासितः वेदवाद रतः पार्थ नान्यदाद अस्तीति वादिनः. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of Vedas, and they say that there is nothing more than this. Text 28. Sadasya uchuhu उत्पत्त्यध्वन्यशरण पुरुक्लेशदुर्गेऽन्तकोग्र व्यालान्विष्ठे विषयमृगतृष्यात्मकेहोरुभारः द्वन्द्वश्वभ्रे खलमृगभयशोकदावेग्नसार्थः पादौ शरणद कदा याति कामोपसृतः प्रसृष्टः. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. The members of the assembly address the Lord, O exclusive shelter for all who are situated in troubled life. In this formidable fort of conditioned existence, the time element, like a snake, is always looking for an opportunity to strike. This world is full of ditches of so-called distress and happiness, and there are many ferocious animals, always ready to attack. The fire of lamentation is always blazing, and the mirage of false happiness is always alluring, but one has no shelter from them. Thus foolish persons live in the cycle of birth and death, always overburdened in discharging their so-called duties. We do not know when we will accept the shelter of your lotus feet. Purport: persons who are not in Krishna consciousness are living a very precarious life, as described in this verse. But all these circumstantial conditions are due to forgetfulness of Krishna. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant to give relief to all these bewildered and distressed persons. Therefore, it is the greatest relief work for all human society, and the workers, therefore, oft are the greatest well-wishers, for they follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya, who is the greatest friend to all the living entities. Nama Om Vishnupadaaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshakarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here, uh, after background is like, sorry, thank you for giving me this opportunity to brief myself. Today, I'll summarize the verses from the summary lectures given by the senior acharyas and commentary by Srila Prabhupada. Please forgive my mistakes if I add my own meaning or interpretation to this. So after Daksha performs the sacrifice, and at the end, Lord Narayan appears, all the personalities offer their respect to him. So Daksha and other participants also offering the prayers to Supreme Lord. So those are covered in these three verses. Let's start with Daksha. In the first verse, describes Lord as a self-sufficient. So the Supreme Lord Krishna is described here as a Atma Tantraha, or sometimes we have used the word, or we have heard the word Atmaram. He is a self-sufficient, and there is no need for him to seek happiness from anything beyond himself. He is self-sufficient because he is very transcendental. Existence is total bliss. He is eternally existent, and he is all cognizant and all blissful. And therefore, any presentation, however valuable it may be, is not needed by him. But still, because he is the well-wisher for one and all, he accepts from everyone everything that is offered to him in a pure devotional service. It is not that he is in a want for such things, because the things that themselves are generated from his energy. So the comparison is made that make offerings to the Lord is something like offering a lamb in the worship of a sun god. Like anything fiery and eliminating is but an emanation of energy of the sun. And yet, to worship the sun god, it is necessary that we offer him a lamb. Similar way, in the worship of sun, there is some sort of demand made by the worshipper. But in the case of devotional service, to the Lord, there is no question of demand from the devotee. So it is a all sign of pure love and affection between the Lord and the devotee. The Lord is the supreme father of all living beings, and therefore, those who are conscious of this vital relationship with the God can make demands from the Father. and the father is pleased to supply the demands of such obedient sons without bargaining. So the Lord is just like a desire tree. From him everyone can have everything by the causeless mercy of the Lord. As the Supreme Father, the Lord, however, does not supply up to a pure devotee what is considered to be a barrier to the discharge of devotional service. So those who are engaged in devotional service of the Lord can rise to the position of unalloyed devotional service by his transcendental attraction. So that's the position of the Lord. In the second verse, the priests are offering prayers to the Lord, and they have mentioned that by the curse offered by Lord Shiva's man, we have become attached to the fruitive activities, and thus we are now fallen, and therefore do not know anything about you. So there are a couple of points in this verse, like sticking points. That first is this is a so the result of a Vaishnava's offense. So priests they sided Daksha in originally, and the results of that they are offended Vaishnava, and they were cursed by the servants of Lord Shiva. Because of that, they forgot about Lord and they engage in fruitive activities. So when we offense Vaishnava, then first thing that Lord takes away from us is our spiritual intelligence. Because of that, we engage in fruitive activities and start forgetting the Lord, and then eventually we fall down in our spiritual life. So we have to be very careful about known or unknown offenses against Vaishnava. So the remedy for that is that we reciting a prayer, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuyavacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. But it cannot be mechanical prayer. It has to be within heart. Also, if possible, we should seek forgiveness of a Vaishnava in person if we have known offended him or her. On and if we don't know, at least we should offer the mental forgiveness from those Vaishnavas if we have offended them knowingly or unknowingly. So, see and then seek the serious forgiveness from the Vaishnava. So, this is also indicator in our spiritual life that if we made any offenses or not, we can correct them. If we see the what kind of path we are taking in our spiritual life, if we are feeling that we are getting engaged into more and more material activities, we are getting more and more taste of the material activities, and we are start to delineate from the spiritual activities. We should carefully see ourselves to make sure that we didn't committed any offense against Vaishnavas, and we should try to seek forgiveness immediately because those are the signs that we have made some offense and then we are slowly going away from our spiritual life, and we don't want to do that. In the third verse, the different personalities are offering prayers to Lord, and they describe how in material life we go through different phases. So persons who are not Krishna consciousness are living a very miserable life, as described in this verse. But all these circumstantial conditions are due to forgetful of Krishna. So the foolish person who live in a cycle of birth and death, and they are always overburdened in discharging their so-called duties. And because and we don't know when they will accept the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So in the prayers of Kunti in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.18, it is said that Lord is covered by the curtain of Yogamaya, and thus ordinary people cannot understand him. So in that, Kunti Maharani says that, "Oh my Lord, you are the maintainer of the entire universe, and devotional service to you is the highest religious principle. Therefore, I pray to you that you will also maintain me. Your transcendental form is covered by the Yogamaya. The Brahma Jyotir is the covering of the internal potency. May you kindly remove this glowing effulgence that impedes my seeing your Satchidanand Vigraha, your eternal blissful form." The Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his transcendental form of bliss and knowledge, is covered by the internal potency of the Brahma Jyotir, and the less intelligent impersonalist cannot see the Supreme on this account. The devotees always bathe themselves in a devotional service in order to be relieved from the various tribulation of material existence. By doing this, the devotees enjoy the supreme bliss, and liberation personified comes to serve them. So, a living entity should therefore surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart, and that will relieve him from all kinds of misery of this material existence. And by such surrender, not only one will get released from all miseries of life in this life, but at the end, he will reach the Supreme Lord. So the best way to help mankind is to spread the message of the Lord and, and spreading the Yuga Dharma, that is chanting the holy name. The best of all is to share Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, which can relieve anyone from the greatest miseries of life. And that's the best humanitarian service we can do to this world. So those are the main three different messages that came out from these three different verses. With this, I'd like to conclude the summary. Please forgive me if I